if you listen well to me, 3 books. And actually, I have already reserved one to, I don't know if Dana is still here. She was on the first panel. Dana, where are you, Dana? Oh, she left. So we have another one. So actually, my name is Hicham Naim. Like I said, I'm a clinical pharmacist by training, 25 years in pharma. And I want to talk about an exciting topic, which is partner experience. Because how many healthcare professionals do we have today here? Just to have an idea. Healthcare professionals, nurses, pharmacists, doctors. So we all agree that we are not customers. We're not customers to pharma, but we share something with pharma, which is the collective intent, is to provide better care to patients. And I would even add something, because I heard something about shareholder values. I think what is important today is not only shareholders' values, it's also the element of sustainability, sustainable growth, because you can make your way and deliver a better shareholder value. But if you don't have a long-term sustainable value, you're out of business. And there's a good example. I will not name the company, a company that developed a really good product for Alzheimer and actually went really bad in terms of experience and also public perception. So I will not go through my full CV because I already shared who am I. I wrote a book, and book was for me more a therapy to understand what is happening and what might happen in the future. Because I was actually in a hospital, I was one of those lucky ones that get bad COVID and end up in an ER, and basically I was close to that to go to the other side. And there are 2 things that saves me actually. One is healthcare providers, and I've seen them, nurses, doctors, but also pharma. I'm still basically thankful because I was part of clinical trial with a cocktail of molecular antibodies thanks to AstraZeneca. So I think we all have a history either as a caregiver, patient, healthcare professional, or sometimes patient. And we forgot sometimes. We say, you're in pharma, so you're a pharma guy. But actually we're not. Second thing that I'm proud of, and here it's a call for help if you want to contribute. After the war with Ukraine, when it started, we initiated something called Health Tech Without Border, where we start providing support to Ukrainian people across Europe using digital health and health tech technology. I think we have more than 250,000 people who benefit from the services. And today we are in 20 countries, whether it's Pakistan, India, Mexico, Cameroon, Sierra Leone, we can do that. So if you're interested to provide or contribute to social impact, I'm more than welcoming you. Now, just before going start, all my opinions are mine, they're not of those Takeda. And I think we are in a very interesting space now. And what I might say today might be irrelevant tomorrow. And the only constant is change. Now, before we talk about future or present, let's rewind back to 1975. That's the year where I was born. And actually, I still remember on that days, we have a black and white TV. If you are basically, when I was young, if you are waiting for a call, you have to stay at home because you don't have a mobile, you know. And basically, gene therapy and AI was something that you can hear only in Star Trek or Tomorrow's World. And we are in a really, really exciting time, but also it's a very scary time. And I have seen the chat about we have a website now, and the monochannel, cross-channel, and omnichannel, opti-channel. You know, this is crazy. I believe, and I will try to defend this opinion, that the future is one, monochannel. Now, you also have seen that. How many people have seen that, post that, comment on that, or share that? How many people on LinkedIn? Okay, few of you. I will assume it's more of you. Actually, more of people, when I was looking to my feed, wow, ChatGPT is more empathetic than doctors. We know that actually. You know, trust me, this is not good. And actually, if you dive deeper into the data, what you will find out actually, it's true. And if you ask, there are a lot of surveys that ask patients, what is most important for you? They will tell you compassion. compassion is as important for them or more important for them than waiting time or cost. And if you ask also patients, they say 3/3 of HCP, doctors, nurses, they're not compassionate or not empathetic. Now the question is, why? Curious to hear. If someone answers, he has a book. No time. Another one. Okay, the first one is burnout. You know, just between 2013 and 2020, it moved from 35 to 56. And if you go in some other places, it's much more than that. You know, doctors are completely burnt out. And I don't know how much we appreciate that. We talk a lot about customer experience, engagement, new channels. Are we aware about the situation they are feeling or living every day? That's the first one. And when you go a little bit more, actually, HR, 80% of doctors or more, they feel what you call cognitive fatigue or cognitive overload after 22 minutes of basically using HR. And there's another research that shows an interesting data point also, is that after 30 seconds, what they did, they put a video and they were watching the eye flash of the doctors. After 30 seconds of EHR, they're already tired, 30 seconds. Second, another one is basically it's workload. Can you imagine that half of the day it's HR and administration load? And it's more than 20 to 25 hours per week. And so when doctor they hear, here's a prospectus about a new trial, or here's a new article, or by the way, we're bringing value-based healthcare, what they see for me, it's new administration steps for me. That's what they hear when you tell them this. When you tell them, come, there's a webinar, what they hear, it's another work that I need to do. And actually, let's just visualize the day in life of a physician. They spend only 27% with patients. It's almost like a quarter of the day with patients. And half of it actually, it's with HR and admin work. So when you meet them actually, I don't know if that's, you are somewhere here. And I was thinking what type of presentation I can talk about today, but I think if we really, really want to feel and understand them and help them, we have to appreciate that. Now, just one last figure, if you had to take something back home, every time they spend 1 hour with patient, they spend 2 hours in admin work. And all this contribute to what you call burnout, overload. And actually I have a personal story. My wife, she's a medical doctor. She was in AR and then she moved to a private practice. And now last 6 months, she's completely burned out. And she can see only 5 patients maximum a day. And that's not a unique story. When, throughout Health Tech Without Borders, we have 800 physicians today. And most of them are burnt out. And we had to launch a program called Help Healer Heal to help them because, the combination of burnout, workload, and also dealing with humanitarian crisis sometimes, it creates like a PTSD and other symptoms. So when we talk about engagement, I think we need to look at them back as a human, but also as a business people, because they have practice, they have business to run, and then they need to make sure that one, patients are in good condition, but also their own career is in good run, and also their business is up running. And if you go to US, also they have a student debt also to take care of. Now, the last one I want to share with you also is when doctors, they have to deal with different conditions sometimes. And the only way they can be objective in helping patients is they have to adopt what you call compassionate detachment. And it can be seen by patients as less empathetic. The only way I can help you, I have to be detached from you. And that's very important. And ChatGPT doesn't have this context. So go, next time when you use ChatGPT, give some context. say, before you ask the question, say, you know what? You are now a doctor that is burnt out. You need to have a more professional detachment before you give me an answer. And then try to do the test. And you will see we'll have different approach with ChatGPT. Now, I talked a lot about that. Should we feel pity about them? I don't think so. Maybe sympathy. I think we should feel sympathy for them, but I don't know if you have seen this article, I think it was from 2018 from Harvard. We have to push a little bit more, basically, the way we should approach this. We have to go to the extra mile, which is basically start not only feeling empathy for them, but start having this compassion approach. And that's very important. And hopefully I can give you some answers to that. Now, I can talk a lot about semantic and adopting a physical debate. It will be exciting, but I don't think it will be of value for you. There are means where we can basically adopt more actionable approach toward how I can be compassionate with doctors. So, 25 years, talked to doctors, I had the chance to interview some during the book, but also during the Health Tech Without Borders. Here what I learned from them. I try to put them here. These are, that's not a perfect pyramid of needs, but they are what you call the bottom up, which is the functional needs. Then you have the emotional. Then you have the life-changing. Every doctor wants to have what we call self-transcendence, have a social impact, make a difference before they leave this world, right? Everyone. But what keeps them is here. No, they talk to me, say, I want to help. I want to do telemedicine, help people in Ukraine or in Sudan. But actually, I don't have time. Sometimes I have to run a business. I have to pay bills. And actually, sometimes I have fear in terms of taking risk, because if a patient goes to ChatGPT or Google and self-diagnose, when you come to doctor, he cannot just disclaim and say, disregard what you have said. Because they have this responsibility, they have somehow to verify those assumptions, and it's more work for them. And then you have something which is important, is this one, anxiety. Peace of mind is basically, I can prescribe this treatment to patient, but I have a peace of mind because I have data that shows me that this treatment is better than the other one. It can give better outcome. But actually, if I don't solve anxiety, reduce cost, reduce effort, I can't go here. And if there's one thing we should be doing, is we have to fix that. Or at least avoid to make it worse before we start looking at how we can partner and achieve that. And why I put that here, because my fear with AI, Gen AI, it will be easier to create content. It will be easier to create more engagement. It means we will create more noise and keep them more busy. And should we do that? We can do that, but should we do that? That's an important question. Now, the other thing we can do actually, and I won't go through all of this. First, we have to stop here saying that AI will replace doctors. No, every time I talk to doctors and say, when I see people say AI will replace doctors, that's another source of anxiety. I think we all have this kind of anxiety now, and there's a really good WEF report, I'm happy to share that with you, about the future of work, where they talk about there's an increasing anxiety within the society because we're all afraid from losing jobs due to AI. They have the same actually. And we have to stop saying that AI replaces doctors. And I see it a lot actually on my LinkedIn feed. Another one, of course, can we do to help them upskill them? There's a lot of doctors, what I'm afraid of is that you will have an equitable access to technology. Some people will adopt it because they know how to, and others will be left behind. What, as an industry, not a one company, as an industry, can we do to upskill them and prepare them for that? It's great that we bring algorithms, that we can put a chatbot in front of a website. I think it's better if we help them basically better leverage this technology. Another one, actually, I think there's a lot of work that is done in terms of clinical decision support, algorithm, helping finding the right patients, especially in rare disease. But what I'm saying is that every pharma is try to do their own stuff. If we treat the same patient, if we try to diagnose the same patient, why not working together to come up with one solutions? And I think you talked about trust, and you will have a book for you also. I'm talking to you. He's not listening. You talked about trust. No, seriously, because trust also comes from, it's not from one pharma, it's from a group of pharma. I can trust it, especially if you do it in collaboration with medical association. Now, I talked about the fact that we can't solve the problem as a pharma. We have to adopt the system thinking. And system thinking is not only within the industry, it's also behind the wall of our companies. If you really want to truly deliver a seamless experience, we have to break the walls also. And my colleague mentioned from R&D to commercial to medical, but also within the department, physically, we have to break the walls. And that's very important. And system thinking also try to solve those problems. Like this one, it's an HR problem. It's not the pharma who can solve it. It's pharma with payer, with policymaker and other parts. Another one is that we have to stop or bridge the gap. So here are two statistics I will give you. And you can read, right? More than 80% of physicians, they say, I go if I want an independent information to independent portal. But still pharma will believe that they will come to our portal. We have to stop that. It's not working. And if it's not working, why are we wasting our resources? We can reinvest our resources in something that is meaningful and relevant. The second one, I heard something today about force field. 4% of HCP, they think, versus 68% of pharma, they think that force field have an impact in terms of finding critical information. So there's obviously a big gap. And if you look to the doctors, they're not sleeping. They are actually using ChatGPT to be more compassionate. And they are also, and what I'm hopeful is that we start seeing experimentation on how they can simplify better basically HR, but also embed Gen AI, because it can have multiple things. It can have automation and augmentation. Automation in terms of if I have a patient letter, or if I need to quickly understand what's happened in the patient history, Gen AI can help me do that within the HR. But also augmentation, when we develop a patient support program, a clinical decision support, what is critical for the HCP, it has to be part of the workflow. Don't ask them to switch screen. It's not working. If it's not part of my workflow and it's not evidence-based, I'm not going to use it. It's just another workload for me, And we have to start thinking, if I develop an intervention, which is digital intervention, it has to be evidence-based, it has to be developed with them, but also it has to be part of the workflow, part of the EHR system. So I say that the future will be mono-channel and it will be omni-field. I strongly believe that EHR will be, not maybe tomorrow, maybe in 3 years, it will be solely channel that docs will be using. And it will omni-fit. It means whether you have a clinical trial data, a payer database, or any other source of data, it will fit that model. Then the question is, what will be the role of pharma engagement? But also you can extend that. How can we design our clinical trial in the future? How we should be strategically using congresses, medical and scientific communication and publication in a way that my data, because I believe that has better endpoint, when it comes to HR, it provides the right, it helps basically the right decision for the doctors, whether it's diagnostic or treatment. But I also believe you'd ask for trust, because we'll have more and more of technology, of AI, of chatbot. The only way you can build a relationship and have this authenticity, you still need to have people in front. You need to have someone, a human, because I can trust a human. But then the customer facing you will have are not here to do a detailing. They're not here to talk about scientific communication. They will be here basically to express the element of compassion. What's the problem that prevents you from using this treatment? How can I help you improve the workflow in your hospital? Those are the questions that those people will be taking care of. And if there's one last message I promise, if I have to take something back, it's you have to, of course, when you think about developing solutions, basically connect with everyone, whether it's HCP or even your colleague, with empathy. But you lead with compassion, because then you are leading from a cold, rational objective, because we are all emotional people and we are all biased. But I think if we understand them, develop this empathy, but when we make decisions together with them, it's based on compassion, not just on I feel pity for you. Again, thank you. And like I said, if you want to contribute to Health Tech Order or just have a conversation, here are my contact details. And if you want to order my book, all the sales will go to an NGO, SOS Children's Village. Also, you're more than welcome. Thank you very much again. And you have a book.